It's coming to North State counties. Shasta County supervisors voted unanimously to accept what amounts to a state mandate and money, supposedly, for the Public Safety Realignment Implementation Plan. Law enforcement, probation, social services, Shasta County is marshaling its resources to get ready for an influx of low-level parolees released from state prison for what Sheriff Tom Bosenko says are drug and alcohol offenses and property crimes. The prisoners are the three nons: non-serious, non-violent, non-high-risk sex offenders. 421 of them between now and next July, 700 total within the next 3 years. Chief Probation Officer Wes Foreman says what's being called realignment will save the state money, but it's clear warehousing criminals in prison wasn't working, so there's a shift to evidence-based practices, assessment of criminal behavior.
We have shown some success. They're aware of that, and so they were calling on our assistance to help out. So I think it's a bit of two things, managing their budget, but also needing that, evidence-based practices was the way to go forward, and they couldn't do it with the current population, so they needed our help.
Health and Human Services Director Marta McKenzie told the board 42% of state prisoners were abused as children, presenting her staff with a challenge.
That kind of reality check about what's happened to these folks as children and how they've developed this antisocial and criminal behavior, I think should give us all pause about those root causes and how we can probably use this as an opportunity to think about doing work differently.
In anticipation of the parolees reoffending, the vacant floor of the county jail will be reopened, adding 128 more beds, but that's going to take about 6 months. An assessment facility will be created, but no site has been selected. Work release and home detention will be expanded, and the sheriff's and probation departments and health and human services will add staff. Bottom line for your safety, Sheriff Bosenko says, do what you should be doing. Lock your doors, be aware of your surroundings, and join Neighborhood Watch.
Maybe you could be concerned, but don't be panicked. Take a level-headed approach to this and take precautionary measures.
Keeping in mind, Shasta County has yet to see 1 penny of the money. Here's the breakdown on how the state says it will pay for this as the county ramps up to receive all 700 parolees. Now, you see it there, $2.9 million between this Saturday and the end of next June, the end of the fiscal year. Then $6.9 million for the 2012-13 fiscal year, $8.2 million for 2013-14, and $7.7 million for 2014-15. Shasta County, of course, not alone. Butte County supervisors were also dealing with realignment. The plan adopted by the board today will put many of the low-level offenders into a community release program run by the probation department. The released inmates will have ankle bracelets and have access to educational and drug treatment programs. Sheriff Jerry Smith says implementing the plan won't be nearly as hard as getting it ready.
We've done a lot of work, and we're ready for the transition. So in terms of difficulty, I think the difficulty perhaps is behind us, and there'll be some, obviously, concern in terms of where we go from here, but right now we're prepared and ready to go.
Supervisor Bill Connolly told KRCR News Channel 7 he thinks it's inevitable that crime will go up, but the county was backed into a corner by the state. A Chico woman will be keeping her home after